The next new feature we're going to take a look at, it's called Content Aware Fill. Okay, and this is kind of an offshoot on a feature that came out in CS4, which was Content Aware Scaling, which kind of automatically let you add space to an image, to scale an image, and Photoshop would add the area for you. Okay, so Content Aware Fill works kind of the same way. We'll start off with the spot healing brush, and really more just of a fun example here, but I want to show you what you can do. The spot healing brush, one of the benefits of it is that you didn't have to sample. If I want to get rid of something, I just click on it and drag, and sometimes it does a good job and sometimes it doesn't, okay? But great for spots, all right? You're removing spots. You don't really have to think about it. You just click and they're gone, all right? But if I came over here to the tree and I started to, to try to remove parts of this, you can see it's going to get bad, okay? It gets blurry, it's smooth, it's weird, it's bad. So Content Aware Fill is an option when you're using the spot healing brush. Again, you don't have to sample, but what we'll do here is, let's just come in here and kind of draw and brush all around the tree. I'm just clicking once and I'm just kind of brushing all this in, and I'm not letting up on the mouse button at this point yet. All right, and then we'll just come straight down here and get that part. And now I'm going to let go, and let's see how it goes. Not too bad. So I've got to tell you, I've done this about 5 times. This is actually one of the worst that it's actually done for me, but still not too bad because I can come over here just with a little swipe and get rid of that. We want to get rid of the shadow on the ground. Of course, we can just draw over that, and that does a pretty good job. And if I really wanted to spend some time, and I was serious about this image, which I'm not, I don't think you'll necessarily use it to remove an entire tree. But you could come with the clone stamp tool, and I'm pretty sure we could seamlessly get rid of that horizon line there. Okay, but let's go to kind of more of a real world situation where you got a photo and you want to start to clean some areas up, like this lamppost and maybe some of these barricades back here. Well, let's start off with a selection. All right, so I'm going to make a selection, just a rectangular selection of the lamppost here. All right, so let's zoom in. And you could say I've got a selection around it. Well, instead of using the spot healing brush for everything, you can come up here to the edit menu and come down to Content Aware Scale, because, not Content Aware Scale, go down to Fill, and it uses a Content Aware option. And really quick, before we do that, I do want to draw your attention. When you're using the spot healing brush, you can see the Content Aware option. Okay, so that's kind of how you know what's going on. Same thing goes for Edit Fill. All right, we have this Content Aware option. So you're filling with Photoshop's Content Aware kind of algorithm stuff. So let's just click OK. And yeah, not so good on that one. And I got to tell you, you're not going to believe me, but I swear I did this earlier and it worked a lot better. But the cool thing about this is every time you do it, you typically get a different result. So let's see. And we are typically not going to get a different result. So guys, you're seeing this unfold live. I could go back, but you know what? Why lie? I could re-record and make it work perfectly, but we're going to make one more selection. Let's see if we can get that selection in just a little bit tighter. Like that. And let's try it one more time here. If it doesn't work, then I am definitely going to go in and re-record. No. So let's look at this. Okay. We're going to adapt. And you can see it pulled in some of the stairs. I swear this is the first time that it's done this. It's actually repaired this really, really well. However, it has pulled in some, not the stairs, but the balcony from that area. So we would take our clone stamp tool, because my whole thing about this tool, I think it's cool, but I think it's just a start. All right. It's not going to get you with one click to where you want to go. But I think if you do have distractions to removing your photo, it's easier than going in and cloning and healing and sampling and doing all that. I think it does a really good job. So let's come over here with our clone stamp tool. I'll sample, just Option or Alt click, and that samples from it. And then let's bring it over here. All right. And let's just paint upward. Okay. Because just fixing this tiny area is really a lot better than having to fix the entire thing. And if it starts to look like a little bit of a repeating pattern, then just come over here and we can get rid of that. Just sample a couple different times with the clone stamp tool. Okay, and we can start to get rid of those repeaters. If I wanted to extend this line across, do the same thing. Just come over there, extend that. All right, so you can kind of see it's not perfect, but it does give us a better starting place. If we zoom in and we start to take a look at, let's get rid of that barricade over here. We're going to use the spot healing brush this time for it. Get rid of that. And each time you click with it, it's kind of going to redo it. So if it doesn't look perfect, then I always just click again. And see if we can get rid of this guy right over here. And I think that does a pretty good job. Over here, you can kind of see it got a little bit funky. So we can give a try. That's not working. Let's switch over to the clone stamp tool and just do a little cloning there. That seems to fix it up. And we do have a little repeater over here with a shadow. So again, just a little bit of cloning should get rid of that. Okay, and let's take a look at the windows. Not really sure if this is going to work or not, and I should quit now because of how my previous example went, but we're going to try it. See if we can get rid of a window with it. Nope, it actually just replaced the window with a window of itself. So you can see, if it doesn't have a lot to choose from, it's going to get really kind of funky. But again, the whole purpose of this is to show you not only just the good, where I can pick a gimme photo where I know it works every time, and I actually thought I did with this one, but also to show you how you'd have to go in there and fix it, because you will. It's never going to work perfectly every single time. I will show you one last example. You can open up the PSD file for this. We're going to mash all of this onto one layer. So Command Option Shift E, Control Alt Shift E on the PC. And that just puts all these layers onto one flattened layer. And Adobe shows this example a lot when they demo content-aware fill inside of CS5. When you stitch together a pano, you always have this transparent area around it. Okay, well, we always just crop it out. Okay, but you lose part of the photo. So you can take your magic wand tool, just click on the transparency to select it all. Come up here to the edit menu, go down to fill, use content-aware, hit OK. And I'm pretty sure it's going to work well on this one, if I had to guess. And you could see that's deselect here, and I think it did a pretty darn good job. If I were to look at anything in critique, we have a little bit of a vortex of clouds over here, very easily fixable with the clone stamp tool. Just sample from one area and maybe just kind of disperse that a little bit more. And take a look on this side, and I think we have a hole in the clouds, but again, that's a really easy fix because we just take our clone stamp tool and get rid of it. Okay, so lots of cool stuff with it. Again, use it as a starting place. Use it to get you most of the way there, and then come in and tweak it with the clone stamp tool or the healing brush tool afterwards if you need to.